Alright guys, so, hold up a minute, let me just unplug you. I'm gonna cut this out. I'm just gonna go outside and do my review of Snowpiercer. Alright, camera's full. Alright, so I watched the movie Snowpiercer. Reason why I'm outside is just because it's really noisy out in there. Everybody's watching TV. Everybody's just... the phone's ringing non-stop. So anyways, I'm just going to do the movie review. So I watched the movie Snowpiercer. I'm just going to start out to say I'm still bummed out over the stupid concept of a train around the world that has all these passengers on board, and they basically they're basically there to survive. And it kind of sounds silly because number one isn't so much just the design of the train and the fact that it has the capability of breaking through ice. So it wasn't because of that. It was just more like, you know, they say in the movie, they're like, okay, we can't go outside because it's always going to be cold, it'll never get warm, blah blah blah, and because of that we can't go outside or some crap like that. I mean, either way, if you guys go on the internet and watch the trailer, it's basically will explain the kind of the idea of the movie, what it's about. I won't mention the ending or anything like that, just to get that out there. But no, who's opening the door? Who's that? Who's that out there? Hello? Oh, it's Reese. Reese, you wanna come into my movie review of Snowpiercer? Huh? You interested? Huh? Yeah? You kind of fell asleep through the movie. That's what you do. Anyways, so it is quite bloody and gory, as I was expecting it would probably be. You know, it's good quality film, I gotta say. Like, it wasn't made deliberately to be crappy, and I think it's based on a book or something. So I gotta give them credit. I guess they were going, they were making the story to be as close to this book or something. And I actually looked it up online, and it's kind of like an old sci-fi book. Like really old, and then they based the film off of that book, and they called it Snowpiercer. I don't know what it was called, the book. It was a French book or some sort. So at any rate, along the sides like that, giving you credit, it's got good quality. It's a good quality film. Like, it wasn't meant to be crappy or cheesy. It's not like Pterodactyl. Okay, Pterodactyl. That movie was bad. That movie was so bad. That one, do not see, for the love of God. If you guys are curious, then go ahead and watch it. But it is so bad. Oh fuck. Like, look, he even thinks it's bad, right, Reese? You saw Pterodactyl? Huh? You're busy looking out over there. Okay. So yeah, it was interesting. They had the actor who played Captain America in it. He was pretty good. I thought it was kind of dumb in the ending, and this would be a little bit of a spoiler alert. Basically, it's one of those movies where everybody dies. Like, I'm sorry, it's really true. Like, everybody dies. Like, it was so messed up. Like, it's just at the end, you know. But what can I say? It kind of reminded me. The ending kind of reminded me of a little bit about how, like, the Mad Max films ended, where it's like, blatantly, there's really no hope in the world. There's like no hope in the post-apocalyptic world. I mean, there is a little bit of hope in those like endings of those kind of films, like, say for example, like Mad Max, where, you know, he isn't really dead, he's just more messed up, but he's still going, you know, in the post-apocalyptic world, you know. But in this one, it's the same sort of thing. I'm not going to spoil who lives or dies. That's, you know, that I'll leave out. So I shouldn't say everybody dies. It's just that, you know, when I mean everybody, I mean like I think there's like almost 1 million people on this train, and the train's huge. Like when you see the trailer, it's a long ass train. It's long, so long, right? So yeah, like the train, like with all those people, let's just I'm just gonna just safely just say, you know, a lot of them do get it in the end. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm not gonna say who dies or anything again. Well, like not ending, but premise. Even though it's like a train containing all the humans of Earth, which I find is so bullshit. Like, it's at least when I saw the movie, another movie that's similar to Snowpiercer, except it doesn't involve the train. It involves an actual like large building structure called the Colony. At least in that one, even though how the world froze was bullshit in that film, and the same goes with like the Snowpiercer. Like it's a fantasy sci-fi. Like a lot of this stuff is very extreme. It's like almost like Day After Tomorrow extreme, like how the world just froze and stuff. But like in the Colony, it kind of made sense where, okay, the world's frozen. Okay, the world is completely frozen. So the only thing to do is kind of make a colony and have it like in a building, like an underground bomb shelter. Like that shit makes sense. That shit's kind of plausible a little bit, you know, if you think about it. So I'm wondering why the hell do they have to make a train to go around the Earth? Like, it just, to me, doesn't make sense, because what like, it shows in the film, like, there's, like, these obstacles, like, big blocks of ice or snow, and they basically, I'm just gonna sum it up, the train breaks through. You could see it in the trailer. They show some clips of it, I believe, in the trailer, where the train goes on the tracks, and it breaks through, like, all the snow and stuff. Like, okay, makes sense, but what happens if there's, like, a building, or God forbid, I don't know, an airplane on the train tracks? Like, yeah, sure, it'll break through, but like the train is gonna eventually get damaged every time it goes through that stuff. And not to mention, in the film, this train, by the sounds of it, is like been running for almost like 20-30 years. So I'm like, how the hell is it still functioning after all these years? Like I just don't get it. But other than that, it was meh. It was not the great. I would give this film, if it was a 5 out of 5, you know, like, I don't know, points or stars, I'd give this a 2 out of 5, just because of the premise. For me, the premise was stupid. Maybe I'll give it a 2.5, just to be fair, 50-50. Because they, you know, it looked like some of the visual effects were very impressive. For what it is. Like, it was a very good, like, very impressive film, effects that they did, especially when you go inside the train, and when you look down the train, you can tell when it's like going on the tracks, it's like moving. Like, they did that like effect where if you're looking down, like if I show my hand, like imagine that the hand is like, my hand is like the I guess like the walls of the train. You can see it like move like this, swaying to side, and you can see all the way down the train. Like, I thought that effect was really cool. I don't know how they did that one. I'm guessing it's either CGI or they actually had made a huge like stage and they just made it move around and stuff. Like, I have no idea how they did that. Like, that's a pretty cool effect. They mention about how the parts of the train are breaking. So in order to repair those parts, they have to, I'm just gonna spoil it and just say they use people to replace the parts manually. So in other words, if you had an automatic, like, I don't know, door mechanism or something, you need a person to then open it and close it and open it and close it, and repeatedly, right? Because there's no way of, you know, doing it, right? Like, of actually, say, repairing those parts in the train, because they're old, breaking down, right? Which, again, I find so stupid, because, like, I know it's a story, I know it's sci-fi, but at least you would think in a scenario like that, even though it would never happen in like in a train, but let's just say if it was a colony, a group or whatever, let's say if it's a spaceship going into space looking for another planet, like in the show series Ascension, that's another show series that was well done, but I did not really like the premise, but in that one, it's basically same kind of scenario like in Snowpiercer. Everybody's trapped inside a metal box or a metal train. In Snowpiercer, in Ascension, it's a spaceship, or yeah. But in that one, whenever they had parts broken or things that break, they usually had a method where they would recycle. Like in Snowpiercer, like I get how they've tried recycling, like especially in like the lower parts of the, or the kind of the back parts of the train, where they use like cloth or stuff like that to replace parts of the train, which made sense, right? You know, that's all they have. But when it came to like mechanical parts, I started to think to myself, well, why could they have just melted it down? Like, did they not have like a furnace of some kind? Why could they just melt the metal? Or, you know, especially when you watch the film, the train is apparently a high-tech train, so the technology on the train is like, you know, very advanced, right? So it's using nuclear power to power the train, right? So it's like a very advanced train. So I'm thinking to myself, well, why could they have just, you know, used that nuclear power to make metal or something like that? Like, you would think, I don't know, I'm just thinking outside the box. Like, why could they have done something like that instead of having to use people? They go into like what looked like a what do you call it? Like a indoor garden. I don't know what you call it. Basically, they were growing food and vegetables and stuff, which made sense in that train, right? So they had like a little garden area, but then as soon as you go even farther, there was like an aquarium. And at first I thought, okay, it's an aquarium. Okay, it makes sense. And I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna have like some fish, right? Or maybe salmon. No, they have every goddamn fish known to Earth in this like small, like yay by yay compartment. That's probably the length of from here to all the way to that other side of the fence. To me, that didn't make any sense. And it was like a glass dome too. So it's like when you walk in, it's almost like one of those like aquariums, like you go down in the States where it's like a dome glass thing where it's just glass around you, so you have like a full, like, you know, look around of the whole, like, you know, fish tank, I guess. I don't know how to best explain it. I might show some pictures. All right, come on, Daisy, you want to come in? She wants to come out here too. But yeah, like, to me that just didn't seem plausible. Like, it's that part. Everything else seemed, you know, reasonable, I guess. What would make it plausible is that if they had more compartments of that fish tank area, or food compartments or something, because to me that would make sense. But I don't know. This video is going really long, so I'm gonna just end it here and just sum up and say I sort of half-ass liked it. However, I did not like the premise of the film, of a train in a post-apocalyptic world holding the last survivors of humanity. Like, just to me, that just did not make any freaking sense. Other than that, it was a pretty good film, and yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed me rambling about this film, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys later in the next film. So, or review film, what am I talking about? Yeah, like a review, because the next one I'll do for sure. I don't know how they're going to be set in order right now, but I'm going to do, my next film was going to be Funky Forest, which is going to be interesting. So get ready to see that film. What do you guys thought of the movie? Reese, Daisy, what do you guys thought of the film? They're not listening to me. Alrighty then. See you guys later. And yeah. Bye bye.